So I had this really weird dream last night that made no sense, but was also pretty cool. So I'm like in this like city area. It looks like New York City. Like it's not. It doesn't look like you. It's just like one of those like poorly rendered cities in like a video game where it's just like streets like grids and each building is identical and then, like it's like there's like fog going out so you can't see anything past there. Um, and it's just like if I was there in real life it would be pretty scary, but for some reason I was like pretty chill just walking through, and I see this I turn the corner and I see this bird. It's a vulture, right? And the vulture, like I recognize it's a vulture immediately because I've actually does he sacrifice here? No way he does that. It's not possible. So I see this vulture, and the reason why I know it's a vulture is because I actually saw this bird, this exact bird, in real life, like a week ago, in the parking lot of like the city I'm living in, and it's just like they're eating trash. And at first I thought it was eating like a corpse or something, so I was very hesitant. But then I realized it wasn't eating much, and so I walked up to it and started taking a few pictures, and then okay, so this is a fishing rod. Bruh, takes. This guy thinks he's like slick or something. What to do? Night takes. Yeah, this guy really thinks he's slick. Why don't I just take you, my guy? I actually don't see what's wrong with just taking you. Uh, wait. So knight takes. Oh, wait, it might be slightly problematic because knight takes. I was thinking knight here, then his knight comes up. Knight here takes, and then I just get mated. Oh, so he takes me with check. That's the problem. Okay, so what? So what? So what? What to do now? Um, that knight move is the problem here. Okay, so this is pretty simple. I just go here. The idea is that I just win his knight now. Problem solved. Very good. Why am I up 2 pawns? 2 points. Okay, so he goes there. I'm gonna take him here. And then do I lose my knight? No, I don't. I do not lose my knight. Uh, but it is slightly unfavorable because his knight comes up here and it's just really annoying. I'll go here. Yeah, so his knight comes up here and it's just really annoying. And then I'm just gonna get rid of his knight then. Uh, yeah. Check. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Uh, pawn takes. No, so pawn takes, knight here, queen here. I take this, so it's not a threat. An idea is to come knight back here to win that pawn for free. Okay, let's see how this adds up. See if the math is mathing. Okay, anyway, so I see the bird in my dream, and I'm like, immediately, for some reason, just the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh dang, it's an ostrich, right? That's like my first thought. And okay, so this is actually quite a problem. Because he's gonna go rook back there. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to sack for it. I mean, I have 3 pawns for a piece. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, so for some reason I just immediately think it's an ostrich, and I'm like, oh, ostriches are dangerous. That's like my first impression. So I'm like, okay, so it's a flightless bird, right? So it can't fly. I'm all reasoning this as in like slow motion for some reason, and I'm like, okay, it's a flightless bird. It can't fly. How do I get away from it? Well, the easiest course of action is just to start floating away. You know how in like dreams you start floating away and it's like all surreal and whatnot. So that's what I started to do. I started to just like levitate. I just started to levitate pretty much. And I was like flapping and kicking or whatnot, and then the bird, right? The bird sees me and like aggro's like an enemy from a game. It's like eyes turn red or something and look at me, and and then it just starts chasing me, and it runs underneath me, right? You know how it's like off in the distance? It runs below me, and then it starts. Is this? Uh, I think this is perfectly fine actually because I have so many pawns and a bishop. Wait, no. It's even. I thought I had a piece for 3 pawns. I did have a piece for 3 pawns. I was just up a piece and had pawns. And now I'm not up a piece and don't have. Okay, so it's just normal material. Got it. Yeah, so anyway, um it runs underneath me and it starts pecking me, right? And it's like how does it peck you from all the way up there? Like those piranha plants from like Mario, that like extend their neck and just start bite you. That's what it did. It just like you it's like like it was like it extended up and started pecking me up and up over and over and again. And every time it did, it actually like physically hurt. So I'm like I'm like wiggling in pain midair while getting pecked by this bird, and I'm like trying to like direct myself to like float to like some building up there, and I finally float up to the top of this one of the buildings, and it's like not like a skyscraper. I don't know. It looked like a skyscraper from the distance, but it just was like a normal building. It was like 2 stories, and I just like round the corner over the rim of the building, and now I'm over the building and I'm on the top and the bird can't get to me. And I was like terrified that it might just like start running up the wall or something because anything can happen. Uh, so it doesn't do that. And I'm just like taking a break down there. And then suddenly the dream just like completely shifts, like paradigm shift. It's just completely different. And now it's me in Penn Station, like next to Penn Station on that road, in New York City, waiting for something. I don't actually remember what I was waiting for, but it was identical to 3 weeks ago when I visited New York City to see a friend for his birthday, and I was just waiting there. And it was really hot, and that just immediately became that for some reason. I actually just don't know what to do here, so I'm just playing random moves. I think if I do this, I could potentially trap his rook by playing this move. So he has to move his bishop. Yeah, actually that works, right? I just trap his rook by playing this move. Yeah, he kind of cornered himself here. Okay, anyway, so I'm waiting for this guy or some alleged something. I'm just doing it, and I don't actually know why I'm here. I completely forgot about the vulture thing. I don't know, it's very weird how between dreams, you can just completely forget what was going on previously. And then the scene unfolds, and I walk up to this flower shop, and I'm still on the top of the building, mind you. So like it's like Penn Station and all this like these streets, but it's like still on the building. Okay, he could have just played here. So like if I look over the edge, I would just like fall off. Anyway, I get to this flower shop and I walk in and I round the corner and it looks like the hospital I've been volunteering at. And then suddenly once I like hold up. Suddenly once I like take a left into like a door, it just becomes my school cafeteria. But it's not like my school like it's not actually my school cafeteria. It's like a fancier version that has like actual food. So so like it might be like what I imagine my school cafeteria being, I guess. I don't know. Uh, this is slightly problematic, isn't it? I'll just take this pawn. After that, I'm going to put my rook here. I cannot get rid of, cannot be gotten rid of, removed, cannot be evicted, in other words. Bishop comes here and he runs out of time. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I enter the cafeteria. It's like a really nice cafeteria. It resembles my school cafeteria. No, I'm busy. It resembles my school cafeteria, but it also is in the shape of my elementary school cafeteria, with like that big like draggable wall that separates the cafeteria from the gym that you can drag over and like get extra space. And then I go into the cafeteria. I'm about to like get some food or something for some reason, instinctually, and then the dream ends and I wake up. And I'm just very, very, very confused. I was wondering, like, maybe what is the point of this dream? Was it because I was sorting information from previously, but then it also pulled up some old information, like my old cafeteria, or is it like some, meaning behind it? But whatever, that was pretty funny. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys later.